Young and the Restless spoilers for next week indicate Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, is going way too far with yet another kidnapping, a real one this time. Also, Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, goes all out to get what he wants, but the question is, will it work? We have the latest Y and R spoilers for the week of March 2nd through the 6th. Before we dive into the scoop on Victor, Kane, Nick Newman's Joshua Morrow, continuing spiral, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, getting an offer, and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, being in crisis. Let's get things started with Nick Newman and his very concerning behavior. At the end of this week, we saw Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, chatting at Crimson Lights. His sister and his ex-wife are both really worried about Nick. Victoria is hoping that Nick is not going to go off looking for Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, on his own, but I kind of think he will. Sharon tells Victoria about the threatening text messages that Matt has been sending to Noah Newman, Lucas Adams. And Sharon also tells Victoria that she is really worried because Nick hasn't fully recovered from his surgery. Sharon said she's afraid that he's getting dependent on the pain pills, which Victoria had warned him about. While they're talking, Nick is outside looking at his diminishing baggie of fentanyl pills. He is trying so hard to fight the lure of addiction, but it's too late. He's got that Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott gene, unfortunately. Nick takes a pill out of the baggie but then throws it onto the ground. However, like desperate junkies do, Nick picks it up off the dirty snow and pops it right in his mouth. He goes back into the coffee shop, just as Matt sends a text to Nick asking if the $5 million offered to disappear forever is still on the table. Nick tells Sharon the cops can't do anything. Detective James Burrow, Matt Cohen, basically encouraged them to take on Matt themselves. That's what you want. A detective that encourages vigilantism. Sharon agrees that they should try and lure Matt out. Nick says he has an idea to trap Matt, which I'm guessing involves a cash payoff. It looks like Sharon might be left behind, and Nick may go off on his own and get in over his head. Spoilers for next week have Noah wanting to know if Sharon's heard from Nick, because Noah's been trying to reach his dad all day. Nick is not answering his calls or texts, and Sharon is also concerned. Things are going to go sideways because Nick decides he needs to protect his family while he's drug-addled and in pain. Now, let's talk about Phyllis. At the end of this week, she was real happy to see Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, drop by her office at Newman Enterprises. Phyllis ends up going out to breakfast with her and is impressed that Lauren actually has no issue with Phyllis taking down Victor and getting her revenge. Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, is surprised to see Lauren out with her, openly supporting Phyllis. Lauren basically says she doesn't owe Victor anything and doesn't care if everybody knows. I love this. And I'm sure Lauren is hoping Victor stays out of power so that Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules Leblink, won't be working for him. Billy is making a vowing to himself that he won't ever let anyone take Chancellor from him like happened before. But things are about to take a twist. Later, Billy tells Phyllis not to let anybody talk her out of her success or what she's got. That advice may come back around to him when he's in a really rough position. Young and the Restless. Billy pursues Sally Spectra as Audra Charles issues a warning. We also have Billy focused on his upcoming dinner date with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope. Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, told Sally, don't show up for it. But Sally says it's going to give her closure with Billy. Audra's worried that Billy is going to slither his way back into Sally's life. Billy told Sally on Friday that he doesn't see why they can't be together personally and just ignore the professional side of each other's lives. Sally disagreed. I agree with Audra that Billy is going to work real hard to slip back into Sally's sheets, and I really hope she shuts him down. Next week, that warning Billy gave to Phyllis is going to crop back up. Kane is back at it, trying to get Phyllis to help him get Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, and the kids back from Victor. Mind you, Phyllis is certain, and she's right, that Lily and the kids are not at risk. Victor is lying to Kane and gaslighting him. Kane suggested that maybe Phyllis could trick Victor long enough for him to get Lily back. And then Phyllis could still keep everything. She seemed to consider it, but I don't think she's going to take any risks. Kane circles back to her with a scheme. And Phyllis asks, "Okay, Kane, what are you going to do to try and sway me?" He tells Phyllis he's got something she's going to want so badly she won't be able to refuse him.